You know, the news has basically not been in business for several days. And it's really amazing, you know, the news. Now, of course, yesterday was 9/11, where we get the 9/11 remembrances. And then, what has Fox News Channel changed formats? Are they now like the BBC? Have they gone totally British on us? I mean, I know there's some interest in the Queen and this change of power of the royals and all of this. I know there's some mild interest in watching it, but some of the discussions, I'm listening to Martha McCallum talk to people I never wanted to hear of and don't even know who they are, doing in-depth discussions. Will Charles be the rock to the world that his mother? I mean, what are they? Who cares? It's a little overblown on the royal coverage, Fox News. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've got a theory about that, though, which I'll get into in a little bit, but I want to start the week. You know, the purge has begun. Tucker Carlson on Friday night was adding to a story that Steve Bannon broke after Steve Bannon was busted and had to surrender in New York, and they did the perp walk, which we were talking about on Friday. He went on Charlie Kirk's show, Bannon, and there have been between 35 and 50, we're a little unclear on the exact numbers, but there are between 35 and 50. Bannon said 35, and then there was an update on Tucker Friday night, which upped it to 50. Trump supporters and their homes and businesses have been raided by the feds. I mean, this is insane stuff that's going on here. Things that are even hard to fathom have happened or happening have happened. On Friday, this is in the Gateway Pundit. On Friday afternoon, Steve Bannon told Charlie Kirk that 35 Trump allies had their homes raided Thursday by the FBI. Bannon said, quote, "The jackbooted Gestapo has to show up at their door. There were 35 FBI raids." An attorney a guest on Friday night, who said that up to 50 Trump supporters may be involved in these raids. At least a single liberal reporter was tipped off by the FBI before the raids took place. There's a purge going on here, and it's a purge of, well, MAGA, Trump supporters. And Jack Posobiec tweeted something which was very interesting. And if anyone has any thoughts, any theories, or any specifics on this particular story, I'd love to hear it, because I just saw this early this morning for the very first time. President Trump, over the weekend, made an unplanned, unscheduled, unannounced trip to Washington, D.C. on his private jet. And it's caught on someone's cell phone camera. He's getting off the jet. What is that about? Why did President Trump? Because usually President Trump, if he goes and takes a trip like that, he'll be posting about it on social media, on his True Social app now. And we'll hear discussions of it. And it was out of the blue, no announcements, nothing. He got off the jet wearing white golf shoes, but he was dressed very nice. Why would President Trump make an unannounced, unscheduled trip to Washington, D.C. over the weekend? I don't know. But I do know this. There's another grand jury going on right now in D.C. This is according to, this is all being reported. You just got to, you can't get anything on Fox because, again, they've gone BBC on us with the endless royal coverage. But there is, who is reporting? CBS News. CBS News is reporting a grand jury has subpoenaed several associates of Donald Trump in connection with the Department of Justice's investigations into the origins of the January 6th Capitol riot. Multiple people familiar with the case told CBS News. You know, the Philadelphia Gates from Hell speech of Joe Biden was the beginning of this purge that's taking place. And it says here, this is CBS News. A grand jury has subpoenaed several associates of Donald Trump in connection with the Department of Justice's investigation into the origins of the January 6th Capitol riot. It's unclear as to how many subpoenas were issued, The Justice Department is looking into Trump's team's fundraising and how that money was used. This investigation is separate from the handling of classified documents. So there are two separate investigations, and it looks like two separate grand juries going on right now investigating our great President Donald Trump. We've got one with this classified documents BS thing that they got going on at Mar-a-Lago, and now this other one, which is the fundraising one. Now the fundraising one is the one connected to that Lincoln Project slanderous ad that we were talking about on Friday's show. And what this new grand jury is about, it's not really so much about the January 6th Capitol breach. It has nothing to do with the documents. They're accusing President Trump of embezzling campaign funds. They're accusing him of Donald Trump. They're accusing him of embezzling money, raising money for other things, and using it for his businesses, embezzlement. So they got two grand juries going on right now looking into President Trump. They have rounded up, according to Tucker Carlson on Friday night, as many as 50 Trump supporters were involved in these 35 or so raids that took place last week after the arrest and perp walk of Steve Bannon. This is after the Gates from Hell speech. And then Kamala, Willie Brown's girlfriend, let me pull this up. Willie Brown's girlfriend, yesterday on the 9/11 speech she gave, said this.
On our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
Wow. Did you catch that? So they've got Pearl Harbor and the September 11th attacks on America on an equal footing with the January 6th Capitol breach. Are you kidding me? This is, don't you see there's movement going on? The grand juries, the raids, the MAGA raids last week that Bannon broke, that Tucker Carlson talked about Friday night, the Gates from Hell speech, two separate grand juries looking to indict President Trump, and now this comment from Kamala Harris. You see, this is more than just a narrative they're crafting, because this ultra MAGA thing they were doing, MAGA Republican business that they've been putting out there, that's a narrative, but there's also action. And this is very rare for Democrats. Democrats are usually just a bunch of talkers about crafting narratives. But they've done something different here. There's actually action connected to the narrative. The actions they're taking are out there to fit the narrative that they're crafting. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call from anywhere. 888-465-2631. And I cannot be the only person out there that is terrified at what is happening to our great country. We're turning into the Soviet Union here. Maybe we already have. The guys with the leather jackets asking you for your papers. Isn't that what it feels like to you? It's what it feels like to me. And perhaps some of this overblown royal coverage was to stop them from talking about it. We're going to take our first break of this hour. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break and be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
This is Brian Craig, and I've suffered with intense knee pain for years. I thought it was something I just had to learn to live with, until I met Dr. Appleton. He's a chiropractic physician, and he treated me with his amazing and effective laser-away pain system. After the first treatment, I experienced an incredible amount of relief, and after the second treatment, my knee pain was gone. Dr. Appleton can help with more than just knee pain. Arthritis, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar, sciatica, tennis elbow, neck pain. If you have pain, he can help. Laser therapy is FDA cleared. It minimizes pain, inflammation, inflammation and arthritis, and reduces recovery time so you can return to a pain-free life. It's completely painless too. There are no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. All the treatments are performed by Dr. Appleton, not a technician. Call for a free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And say bye-bye to your pain. And make sure to tell Dr. Appleton.
Oh, by the way, this is a Ron DeSantis shirt that a listener sent me. Top Gov. Awesome shirt.
Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642.
Was that your new Appleton? Was that the right?
That's one. That was like the spec spot. That's okay, but there's one with me interviewing the doctor. You know, I'm gonna tell Jody today, but Lighthouse and Dr. Appleton should not be running in the same break. Yeah, they got to be in different breaks because the spots are kind of about. They're too similar.
I was on the phone with Mike and I didn't have any chance to listen to him.
Yeah, no, that one was just me. There's one with me interviewing the doctor.
So I can label that one.
Hello, this is Mike
Yeah.
from Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have
Wesley, $5 super chat. Good morning, Brian. We're now experiencing dictatorship. Absolutely, Wesley. By the way, if you're new here, subscribe. Everyone like the video if you don't mind.
very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
Hey guys, welcome back. I heard the commercial for Dr. Appleton during the break, and I want to give you guys an update. You know, of course, Dr. Appleton treated my knee last week with his laser away pain system. Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician. He's incredible, and I want to give you an update. I am more than a week from my treatment. I guess, 9 days since I had my laser away pain treatment from Dr. Appleton. Completely pain-free, people. I mean, this is, I'm enjoying this so much. You have no idea. To not be able to know that I've ever had knee pain, right? Not only am I pain-free in my knee, it's like I never had pain or discomfort, and I've not taken even an aspirin. It's amazing. Laser away pain, that system with Dr. Appleton works, but he treats more than just knee pain. Arthritis, bursitis, hip pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains, sprains, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis, back pain, any kind of pain, he can treat it, and it is always a no-charge consultation when you mention that you heard about Dr. Appleton on the radio. So call for your free consultation. By the way, if you call early in the morning, leave a message. They will get back to you. Their number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Say bye-bye to your pain. That's right. Like I did. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. All right, welcome back, guys. Yeah, so we are living during the purge. We are living in a dictatorship of sorts. We are living through a transformation of the American way of life. If you're just tuning in, I'll do a quick recap before I start bringing up some new time. But I do want to hear your thoughts on all of these things that I brought up so far on the program. So there are now 2 grand juries looking, and this is separate from the January 6th Kangaroo Committee. Okay, there are 2 grand juries looking into Trump now, right? We've got this one case over this classified document Mar-a-Lago BS they came up with, And now CBS has confirmed there's a new grand jury looking into President Trump embezzling money, which we know is just ridiculous, which we know is absurd, which we know did not happen. And what they're saying is he was raising money, campaign money, and using that for his personal businesses, which is not the Lincoln Project ad. Other than the arrest of Steve Bannon, around 50, according to Tucker Carlson, and we have multiple sources, we have Tucker Carlson and Bannon, as many as 50 MAGA supporters had their homes raided last week by the FBI in connection to, we're not really sure because we haven't gotten a report on it. We have Kamala Harris taking September 11th, which is just a special day of remembrance in this country, turning it political, saying that we have Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and January 6th. They're all the same thing. There's a move going on, people. There's a move. And this is what happens when the Democrats start to lose power. And this is true of leftists in any civilization throughout time. When they start to lose power, they tighten that grip. And that's what they're doing. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And, of course, President Trump's secret, unannounced trip to D.C. over the weekend. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. You know, I don't spend too much time paying attention to Howard Stern, but I know a lot of you have over the years. I've got respect for Howard Stern. Howard Stern, you all may not think about this too much, but it's a different subject matter than we have here on this program, because we talk about issues in the news and politics, things that matter in our lives. Howard Stern talks to celebrities and stupid stuff and sexual things that are unimportant, that we don't care about. But the style of radio he does is more similar to what we do than you realize. I saw Bob Grant in New York, and he was one of the greats, and Steve worked with Bob Grant way back in the 60s, and took me out to dinner with him when he was in Florida once. It was pretty interesting stuff, and he modeled Howard Stern much of what he does after Bob Grant, who did a news and issue-oriented show. So and Howard Stern has done good interviews over the years. Sometimes when I've heard him do celebrity interviews, I'm fascinated with his interviews. He interviews celebrities I've never heard of, and I'm interested. He's interviewed celebrities I don't care about, and I'm interested. He's very good, but he's gotten so, crotchety and senile in his old age, and he's always attacking Trump and Trump supporters. And he said recently, Trump supporters are like Cro-Magnon man, they're just dumb, and then he used MFers. They're just dumb MFers. You know, there was a time when Howard Stern was fight the power, when Howard Stern was on the edge, when he was controversial, when he was outside the norms. Anyone that works in radio relates to that movie, Private Parts. It's amazing. And now what is he? He's a crotchety, senile old man who's now with the establishment. And it's really sad. I don't know what's happened to that guy. But he used to be going up against the corporate pressures. Now he is Pig Vomit from Private Parts, who was his NBC program director. All right, now I'm going to go to the phones. In these scary times that we are in, 1-888-GO-KANE 1 is the number. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling from. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is John in Welling.
Hey, John.
2 points as far as these Trump supporters being invaded. I just have to say that the left always has to accuse your enemies of what they themselves are guilty of.
That's Saul Alinsky 101, right out of Saul Alinsky's book. Accuse your opponent of doing what you are doing.
That's correct. So if they're saying that Trump is guilty of something, or they suspect that he's guilty of something, Mr. Trump is obviously not guilty of that, but the leftists surely are. And point number 2, with all of these FBI agents raiding all of these homes, and it's not just 1 or 2 FBI agents at a time, usually an entire squad has to go in and infiltrate somebody's home like they did at Mar-a-Lago. Think of all the real crimes that are not being solved because all of the FBI agents are being used up on these wild goose chases.
That's a good point. I mean, you know, there were 30, according to Bannon, there were 35 MAGA homes raided. Tucker Carlson says up to 50 people. Some of those homes probably had more than one person in them. So how many people are involved in raids on 35 separate private residences? The FBI is not that big.
No, it's not, especially down here in this region. I would imagine a minimum of 10 per home.
Minimum. You could probably times 3 that.
Yep, but minimum, 10 per home, so that's 35 minimum. So 35 times 10, that's a lot of FBI agents that are not solving real, honest-to-goodness crime.
Yeah, I know. This is a scary time that we are living in. You know, a lot of this endless discussion about how the Holocaust happened that never has a true answer to it. We see it all the time when the government comes in and takes civil liberties away from people, like having opinions that are called extremists because they're a minority opinion. That's what the White House is saying. Well, John and Wellington, some good points. Then King Charles and Queen Elizabeth in the news. You wouldn't know that watching the news over the weekend, but there's been a lot of news, and we'll talk about as much as we can before 9 o'clock. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. News over the weekend, but there's been a lot of news, and we'll talk about as much as we can before 9 o'clock. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Making morning radio great again.
Think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well and had a great weekend. Our daytime highs in the low 90s again today. It's going to be hot and humid. Only have a chance of some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be strong later on this afternoon. And then high for 20 meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Broward County, we have a disabled vehicle on the turnpike northbound, and it's at the ramp for Northwest 57th Avenue. That's Red Road. The off-ramp, center lane, is blocked. Then we have a crash on the turnpike southbound, just after Sunrise Boulevard. And Palm Beach County, we have an abandoned vehicle northbound 95 at Indian Town Road. It's on the right shoulder. Wet roads, please watch your speed. Also, turnpike southbound after Southern, we have a crash here as well. This report brought to you by Wendy's. Try Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks today. Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks are so good, some are saying they're better than their mom's French toast. Perfectly crispy on the outside, perfectly fluffy on the inside, perfectly perfect in every way. Try Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks today and see if they're better than your mom's.
I ordered over the weekend the new iPhone 14. Anybody order it? Quick refresh of the feed, so bear with me, guys, okay?